Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.
When I find myself in times of trouble.
Welcome back, everyone. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a great day. This is Andrew Cohen with the Legacy Hour on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Arif Halaby.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks for having me. What a great opportunity to be on your first show. What an honor.
Thrilled. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I just love talking with Arif anytime I get the chance to. And it's my first show here, and Arif's here to add some insight, some color, some humor, and just make it interesting.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the exciting things in the world of talk radio, especially here at KHTS and in the Santa Clarita Valley and beyond, is the information is valuable. It's information we can use today. And so many people don't realize that as they're building their financial life, that they're going to need advice, consultation, even just products or services from a variety of people. And you fill one of that gap. As a matter of fact, we already had you talking with one of our clients when...
The other day?
Yeah, the other day, during one of our meetings. You know, we walk out, the client's there, she needs some help. I'm like, well, as a matter of fact, introduction was made. So
yeah, which was fantastic. And it's the team approach is really, really important. I don't try and fix my own plumbing when I can help it.
Oh.
I want someone that knows what they're doing, and I want to do what I know how to do, what I like, what's my passion. And I think that team approach working with it is, as I mentioned earlier, I'm an estate planning attorney. I'm not an estate planner. You help people with assets, finance, and stuff, but together as a team, you have an estate planning team.
Yeah.
Your accountant, investment advisor, attorney, life insurance, but not one individual is an estate planner.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of the education process as middle-class people are gathering their assets and they're getting into the 40s and 50s. And their career is kind of on autopilot, if you will. Maybe there's a layoff, of course, but mostly they're on autopilot. They know what they want to be when they grow up. Their families are pretty well set, 3, 4, 2 children, whatever they wanted, they have. Where they're going to live.
2 and 1 on the way.
Yeah, exciting times, my goodness. And they kind of know what community they want to live in. And so those things are established. So now the building of the assets begins. And it's funny, we always talk about what people do to accumulate assets, and part of that is to protect it. And if you don't understand it in your working world yet, you will when you retire, and that is you're in partnership with the U.S. government in the state of California.
Yep.
When you go to work, you work to make sure that the federal government and the employees and the institutions exist, and same thing with the state of California. So how do you protect your assets so you don't give more to them than you really want? And that's what estate planning is all about.
It is. It really is. It's protecting your assets and control while you're alive. Lets you do what you want. Periods of incapacity. Oftentimes people think that it's just for death. It's just a functioning of a will.
Yeah.
And it's so much more than that. There's so many interesting things that we don't even have the time to talk about today.
When you say earlier you were talking about mom moving in.
Right.
What are some of the things? And so I have a few points I wanted to bring up. I think that kind of make a lot of sense because in the 17 years of professional practice and probably close to 30 or so individually in my own financial world, starting at about the age of 18, part of that process for us is to understand that mom has to have value. Mom, usually it's the mom, but sometimes it's the dad, moves in and is now part of the family. Now, I've always heard it's easy for 2 men to share a garage, but difficult for 2 women to share a kitchen.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and what does that mean? It means that somebody has to be in charge. And look, I can't go into the kitchen and tell my wife where pots and pans go. I get kicked out when I'm trying to put dishes away because I'm like, oh, there's an open cupboard.
Right, just throw it in there.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So there's a system that our wives have, and when women are in a world that has order, and then suddenly our mom or mother-in-law comes in, they need to be valuable. They need to have something to do. Maybe that's a cupboard or 2 or 3 in the kitchen. Maybe that's if it's dad and wants to work in the garage, or dad that wants to work in the kitchen.
Right, give them their own space. You don't want them to feel like they're an intruder or an extended guest forever.
Yeah.
You know, you want them to feel like they're part of your family, and it's there. They have their room, their space, their ability, and their say. And yeah, that's
And sometimes
such a great point.
Sometimes that comes into the financial contributions. Maybe mom has a pension from dad or her own pension. Maybe she has Social Security or retirement assets. If she offers to kick in a few dollars, let her do that. Now, you might just put it over into the side account and not need it, but
Sure.
don't turn it down because you're insulting her. And you may not see that. We don't always see when we're putting down mom because we think we're helping, or dad. And, oh, no, I'll do it for you. Not always a good idea.
Exactly. You don't want to take their money for them, et cetera. But they want to feel part of it. You're not going to let them spend all their money and
Yeah.
you're going to go on vacation with it. But include them in the house. Include them. Let them be an adult. Be their child again for a little bit.
And that relationship will take on a different world than it did before, financially especially. And I guess when we come back in a minute, I'll get into some other parts, because this is one of the most important parts of this final financial phase of our mothers or mother-in-law's lives.
Yeah, it's true, and you want to do it the right way. Make them important and plan ahead of time. Definitely want
Yeah.
to talk about that a little bit. What you can do as best as possible, and different people start at different times. But yeah, there's so many aspects that go into it, and it's now people living longer, multi-generational households making a big comeback.
Look, when you have kids that are in college bringing home college buddies and sorority or fraternity friends, and then you have grandma in the bottom last bedroom in the corner or upstairs, and you have both generations, and the financial pressures on the people in the center that are the 40s and 50s and 60s working hard. There's a lot of financial pressure. And so how do you juggle that to keep each person important, relevant, and involved? You want the grandparents to always be involved with the kids, the grandkids. 20 minutes ago, I was at my dad's house. I said, Dad, we need you to come and help with the project. We need you to put some things together. Can you get over?
That's fantastic.
And of course, what does he say? He's like, oh, what? Instead of sitting at home all day? Of course.
Of course.
Value is important.
That's great. Well, let's pick up right on that. We need to take our first break with Arif Halaby, and this is Andrew Cohen on the Legacy Hour, your hometown station AM 1220 KHTS. We'll be right back.